This is the Sierra Canyon Weekly News.
Hi, welcome to the Sierra Canyon Weekly News. This week, 2B is your team of reporters. Let's get started with campus news. Welcome to this week's campus news. We hope everyone enjoyed their spring vacation. We asked some students what they did on their break.
I went to Turks and Caicos in the Caribbean, and I went parasailing.
During spring break, I went to Whistler, Canada, and saw many cool things, like snow.
I had a really great spring break, and I went to New York City, and we went to see the Statue of Liberty.
So for spring break, I went to 3 states. I went to Iowa, South Dakota, and Texas.
For spring break, I went to Arizona for spring training and went to Balboa Island.
I had fun on spring break because I rode a goat.
Yeehaw!
We also asked the teachers what they did.
Let's see, I had a really great spring break. I actually went to the Philippines, got to hang out with a musician buddy of mine, Jerome, and stayed at a 5-star resort. Really, really beautiful.
I had a great spring break. I went to San Diego and I got to spend a whole week with my 1-year-old grandson, and we played and ran around, and he totally exhausted me, and it was the best time I ever could have had.
For spring break, I went to Disneyland with my family, and we saw the Frozen sing-along show, and it even snowed. It was really, really cool.
This spring break, I was looking at the Lakers' schedule, and I realized that Kobe and the Lakers will be playing the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix in 3 days. So I jumped in my car, I grabbed my friend, and we took a 16-hour road trip to Phoenix, Arizona. I bought 2 tickets for the Phoenix Suns game versus the Lakers, and I saw Kobe's farewell in Phoenix. It was amazing.
In other news, the Great Fair is coming soon. We hope everybody's rehearsing for the big show.
Can't wait for all the rides and games.
Now let's go to our announcements. Now it's time for this week's announcements.
First, we'll hear from Mrs. Theo and Mr. Horowitz.
Greetings, students, and welcome back. I hope you all had a wonderfully relaxing spring break. As you notice when Mr. Donahue first zoomed in, you'll notice that my wall was blank. And that's because I took down this picture that sits in my office because I wanted to share this with you. This is actually a picture that once belonged to my 6th grade teacher, who then looped with me. Many of you will notice that your specialists loop with you. There's several lead teachers who have looped with you. That means you have them for year after year after year. And so this one, Mrs. Matner was this teacher's name. I had her in 6th grade, 7th grade, and then 8th grade. Later, she became the principal of the school that I attended. And I thought to pay respect for what an incredible educator that she was, I wanted to have this, and it reminds me where and how the journey of teaching began for me. But most especially, what is so wonderful about this picture, it's entitled, "Who Do You Love?" And what I love about art is it allows you to imagine what the artist was trying to convey or teach you through this picture. And this for me is it looks like a fisherman who, after a very, very long day, is surrounded by those individuals, maybe young children, maybe his own grandchildren, who he loves deeply. A wonderful way to end the day. But what is so special to me is what it reminds me of what we as teachers get to do every day, and that is be surrounded by the love of children and young minds. So thank you for sharing yourselves with us. And with that, I say have a wonderful day.
Well, hey, good morning, good afternoon, Sierra Canyon Lower School students. Mr. Horowitz here and reporting on our SETV post-spring break. I can't tell you how excited I am to see all of you. And by the way, looking at all of you now, I can tell how much you've grown up in the last couple weeks. You look fabulous, you look rested, and you look like you're ready to finish this year out strong. And that's really what my message is about today. Do you realize, boys and girls, that we have 8 weeks left of school? 8 weeks, that's nothing. But 8 weeks is still ahead of us. And remember the assembly that we had, and I talked about finishing strong? I'm going to ask all of you to reach in deep. Think about what's coming up ahead. Set your goals. 8 weeks. I want you to work hard. I want you to take care of one another. Always be kind and respectful. use your words, come to a teacher, come to an administrator if you need help, but let's finish strong. And we got great things ahead. The Great Fair is coming up in, oh my God, it's less than 3 weeks away. So something to be excited about. So with that being said, have a wonderful week, and let's finish strong.
Thank you to Mrs. Theo and Mr. Hort. Now let's go to sports news. Now it's time for sports news. Is spring sports starting the next week? Come to the games whenever you can. Come out and show your school spirit. Now it's time for Notes in the Yard.
There's lots of important things to remember at recess.
Now let's hear it from Mr. Ragosta.
Hey Sierra, welcome back from spring break. I hope you guys had 2 weeks to rest, relax, and have plenty of fun. Now that we're back in school, I just want to take a couple of minutes to do a quick reminder and then give you a new note from the yard. Firstly, that reminder. Remember, we need to make sure that when we're on the field playing, whether it's before school, after school, recess, lunch, that we're on the lower field or in a designated area where there's a supervisor. So in the morning, we can be on the upper field if we're in 4th and 5th grade. If we're in 1st through 3rd, we should be on the lower field. 6th graders, you guys are up on the blacktop courts. But once the day starts, recess, lunch, and after school, we should only be on the lower field. Not in the trees, not behind any classrooms, not up by 1st grade, not running up the ramp to the upper field, just the lower field. It's really important that we're all staying there, guys. And then one new note. We have lots of equipment down in the lower field, and I've noticed recently, a little bit before spring break and now, that we've been seeing some equipment come from home. The first thing is Frisbees. I love Frisbees. I think everybody knows that I'm the Frisbee guy here at Sierra Canyon. But unfortunately, after giving it some time this year to try, we've just had too many accidents and too many close calls with people getting hit or nearly hit. And so we've decided as an administration that we're not going to use Frisbees, at least for the time being. We're going to look into some options, maybe find some softer Frisbees that are a little bit safer when there's people in the area. We might talk to PE about maybe working that into your PE activities a little bit more. But for recess, lunch, before and after school, we just can't throw the Frisbees around. It's too risky. So if we're not throwing them around, there's no reason to be bringing them. But that brings me to my other point, is we have plenty of equipment here at school. We shouldn't be bringing equipment from home, especially equipment that's not used for any of the games that we play on the lower field. I'm thinking about tennis balls, lacrosse sticks, and lacrosse balls. It's great that you want to practice the sports you're all part of. I think that's fantastic, but there's a time and a place. And unfortunately, recess, lunch, before school, just isn't the time for it. We want to make sure that, yes, we're having fun, but that everybody's safe while we're doing that. So please, keep your equipment that you're bringing from home, if it's for a sport, in your bag or in your sports bag. And if it's just something you're bringing for fun, like your favorite basketball, that's best saved for when you're balling at home, not here at school. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your time here this year, and I'm sure I'll see more of you from the yard. Have a great day, Sierra.
As always, thank you, Mr. Ragosta.
Let's do a great job these last 8 weeks.
If we all work together, we can do it. Now it's time for our Olympic Country Spotlight.
This week we will feature the beautiful country of Spain.
We're going to tell you about some interesting facts about Tubi's country.
Spain, whose capital is Madrid, is known for flamenco dancing and great food.
Its most famous dishes are paella and tapas, which can be shared by friends.
Spain loves soccer more than any other sport. In 2010, they won the World Cup championship. Now it's time for this week's Sierra Canyon VIP.
This week's VIP is Mr. Abel.
Mr. Abel helps keep our campus nice.
What is there to say about Abel? Let's see. Abel is like a ninja superhero. Because before you even realize you need help or you need something, you turn around and Abel is there. And he's already cleaned it up or fixed it or found it or is working on it. And he does it with a smile and a good morning and the best attitude ever. And he's a ninja superhero. That's what Abel is. So we love you, Abel.
We're lucky to have you at our school.
Thank you for everything you do for us.
You are a true Sierra Canyon VIP.
Thank you for watching Sierra Canyon Weekly News. We hope
enjoy 2B's episode.
Tune in next Wednesday when 2C will be your host.
This has been the Sierra Canyon Weekly News.